What animal sleeps more than your average teenager, moves slower than molasses uphill, and still somehow manages to survive in the wild? Which jungle dweller is so laid back it grows algae in its fur and uses it as camouflage? And most importantly, how did a fuzzy, slow-motion tree hanger become an internet legend, a symbol of chill and a walking, very slowly walking contradiction? Today on Wildlife Lounge, we're deep diving into the wonderful, weird and surprisingly strategic life of the sloth. Bring snacks, it's going to be a slow ride. Welcome to the Wildlife Lounge, where the animals are untamed, the facts are untameder, and your host never rushes a good story. In this episode, we're climbing, slowly, into the rainforest to unravel one of nature's most extreme examples of chill. We'll talk about why sloths are so slow, how they turned laziness into a life strategy, and why their once-a-week poop run is a legitimate death risk. We'll also explore the difference between two-toed and three-toed sloths, dig into their evolutionary backstory, and of course, ask the question, could a sloth actually beat a house cat in a swimming race? Stick around till the end for the quiz, and maybe a few unexpected sloth superpowers. Let's break it down like a biology nerd at a jungle rave. There are 6 species of sloths in total, split into 2 families. Two-toed sloths, Cholapus hoffmanni and Cholapus didactylus. Three-toed sloths, Bradypus variegatus and friends. And here's the twist, the toe count refers to their front limbs only. On the back legs, all sloths have 3 toes. Confused? So are most tourists in Costa Rica. Sloths are found across Central and South America, living almost exclusively in tropical rainforests. Their hotspots include Costa Rica, Panama, Brazil, Colombia. They are arboreal specialists, meaning they live, eat, sleep, and raise their babies in trees. They're like jungle landlords who never leave the property. They've even been found in urban areas, clinging to telephone wires, casually ignoring traffic like it's none of their business. Sloths are the masters of doing nothing, and doing it well. Their metabolism is the slowest of any mammal. They can take up to a month to digest a single meal, and they've got a 4-chambered stomach working overtime, or more like part-time. But being slow isn't a weakness. In fact, it's their entire defense strategy. By moving slowly, they conserve energy, avoid detection from predators, use less oxygen, let algae grow on their fur, which provides camouflage. It's like nature built them for stealth mode in 144p. Sloths are folivores, meaning they eat mostly leaves, especially from the cecropia tree, their favorite jungle snack bar. Their food has low nutrition, which is why they've evolved to burn calories as slowly as possible. Predators include harpy eagles, with talons the size of grizzly bear claws, ocelots and jaguars, boa constrictors. But honestly, the biggest killer of sloths? Power lines and roads. Their tree-crossing routes often get interrupted by human infrastructure, and crossing the street at 0.2 kilometers per hour rarely ends well. Time to shift gears, very slowly. Let's hit you with some rapid-fire sloth facts. Don't worry, we'll keep the pace slow and steady, just like them. Blink and you still won't miss it, because, well, it's a sloth. Sloths can sleep up to 20 hours a day in captivity, less in the wild. A sloth's tongue is surprisingly long, great for licking leaves and grooming their fur algae. Their fur is grooved to allow rain to run off and algae to grow better. Despite poor eyesight, they have a great sense of smell and decent hearing. They've been on Earth for over 60 million years. They even had giant prehistoric ancestors the size of elephants. Basically, sloths were here long before us, and they're in no hurry to leave. Once a week, sloths take a huge risk. They climb down from the safety of their tree, dig a small hole at the base, and poop. And it's not a quick job. It can take them 30 minutes to go number 2. Meanwhile, predators are like, perfect, dinner and a show. Scientists are still baffled. Some believe it's a form of communication. Others think it's to fertilize their favorite trees. Or maybe sloths are just shy. The biggest threats to sloths aren't predators, they're humans. Deforestation has decimated rainforest habitats. Urbanization introduces roads, dogs, and electrical wires. Tourism leads to sloths being captured for selfies or sold as exotic pets. There are amazing rehab centers like Jaguar Rescue Center in Costa Rica and Ayuno Foundation in Colombia that help rescue and re-release injured sloths. Your best way to help? Support ecotourism, avoid animal selfie traps, and never buy wildlife as pets. Sloths may not have super speed, but they do have super grip. Their claws are like curved daggers, and their tendon lock system means they don't have to use energy to hang. They literally can't let go. If that's not a weird superpower, I don't know what is. And in the water, surprise, sloths are naturally buoyant, use a doggy paddle, and can hold their breath longer than dolphins, up to 40 minutes. On land equals slow. In water equals awkwardly majestic. Let's bust some myths, sloth style. It might take a while, but trust us, these slow movers have been speeding through a jungle of misunderstandings for years. Time to separate fact from fiction, one slow-motion myth at a time. Myth: sloths are lazy. Truth: they're efficient. Their bodies are adapted to minimize energy use in every way. Myth: all sloths are the same. Truth: two-toed and three-toed sloths are wildly different in diet, genetics, and behavior. They even belong to separate evolutionary branches. Myth: sloths are weak. Truth: their grip can support their entire body weight effortlessly. Some researchers say their pound-for-pound grip strength rivals primates. And now, it's time for the ultimate showdown. In this corner, the undisputed champion of chill, the sloth. But how would it stack up against the wild's fiercest contenders? It's brains versus brawn, slow versus savage. Welcome to the scientific matchup. Let's see who comes out on top, or at least, who moves first. Sloth versus koala. Who wins the Sleep Olympics? Koalas sleep longer, but sloths win on pure laziness to survival ratio. Plus, koalas don't grow their own algae. Sloths take gold. Sloth versus house cat, swimming edition. Sloths are shockingly agile swimmers. Your house cat, not so much. Winner, sloth by a doggy paddle. Sloth versus human, pull-up contest. Sloth wins again. Their hanging strength is automatic thanks to their tendon lock system. You've been skipping arm day. In 2019, a video went viral of a sloth stuck in the middle of a busy road in Ecuador. Cars lined up on both sides and everyone waited patiently. One brave officer stepped in, picked up the sloth, and the sloth in return reached out and gently wrapped its arms around him, like a slow, grateful hug. The footage went viral in over 50 countries. That's the power of kindness and sloths. Quiz time. Which of the following is not true about sloths? A. They grow algae. B. They poop daily. C. They're good swimmers. D. They can rotate their heads nearly 270 degrees. Write your answers in the comments. Don't rush it, sloth style. We'll like your comment if you got it right. If you learned something new about sloths today, or if you've ever wished you could live life at their pace, give this video a like. And tell us in the comments, if you could borrow one sloth ability for a day, would it be A. Sleeping 20 hours, B. Hanging upside down, C. Growing moss on your body, D. Pooping once a week and making it everyone's problem? Smash that subscribe button, swing into the bell icon, and stay with us every Monday, Wednesday and Friday for more wild facts from the animal kingdom.